Alright, so I'm finally going to take the time to finish the Repro X PCB. I've been putting this off for way too long. My fault. I have been busy with high-def and garage work and whatnot, but I should have made time to finish this. And I'm on Rev 7.2, and I've only got a couple things that I've found that I need to change on it. The mirroring pad numbers. I've just got like jumper 1, jumper 2, or jumper 3, and I want to change that so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's 4 pads, and I want each pad numbered instead of just saying, you know, just do jumper 1 or jumper 2, jumper 1 and 2, jumper pad 1 and 2, because that's the way the rest of the board is. And I need to make sure somehow that they bring the solder mask down over the gold fingers. I'm a little unsure how to do that, other than I'm just going to bring it down some more. Hopefully it'll be far enough away that they won't get the idea that it needs to be changed, because it was totally on their end. I checked my Gerbers and did a Gerber view, and it showed it covering the finger, so I know that's not on me. So I'm going to populate one board of a 7.2 with sockets, and I'm just going to go through the 10 mappers and just change the jumpers on the back, just to make sure that the board fully works with each mapper. I might even bring out the copyNES just to double check to make sure everything's good to go. Yeah, now I remember what it was. I also need to change the surface mount cap pads to 0805 at least. I think I got them set for 0604 or something like that. They're just a little bit too small, and there's plenty of room on there to make them bigger. I could change the through hole pads a little bit too. Just the actual annular ring is a little small, and I really hate that. So I just want to make it easy for installation. You know, all the pads, all the other pads on all the chips are the oval type, so why not try to get the big oval type on those as well? Seems logical, but whatever. Alright, NROM works. Alright, so I got the copyNES set up, USB into the computer. Just an overview about the copyNES if nobody has heard me talk about this. I've had this since 2010. This is the same USB copyNES you can get from Retro USB. Talked a lot about it in the last video, or maybe a couple of videos ago, where I'm doing about the same thing, but I do have a couple tricks about the CRC problem. You know, when I was trying to compare them to make sure they were the same. Wish I could have put that in there, but anyway, get the USB driver installed, and I'm using, let's see, I'm using the copyNES W. I think it's not the same software you can get from Bunny Boy's site. I think I'm using copyNES W. That seems right. You have to watch the other video to learn about the actual software. I want to say all of this stuff was stuff from Bunny Boy. Yeah. So I think that's the actual client and that I'm not using. But anyway, get this up and usually hit play cart. That'll show that the game's running okay. And then you dump cart, and of course the first one I'm doing is NROM, so double click NROM, enter a game name, and dump it. And I've already done that. And if you go to the finished folder, Devil World X was the one that I dumped, since it's the Repro X version. And this is where I don't know why I didn't know this in the last video, but this is where I can do the CRC checks really easy. Just right click on the file, and then right there it is. And I've already got them open. Okay, there's the two that I can compare side by side. You can see this is the original ROM that's available on the internet everywhere, and you can see that the CRCs are exactly the same, so I know that it dumped perfectly. So this is how I'm going to do all of them, all the ones that the ReproX can do anyway, like unrom, cnrom, AROM, stuff like that. Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention was I believe this the CRC option being right there, I think that's actually included with 7-zip. I think that's why that's there. I don't remember if there is such a thing that you can go to without 7-zip. I was kind of thinking maybe if you went to properties it would show up, but it's not showing up here. I don't remember if the 7-zip thing is where I seen it first or if I seen it somewhere else. I've already got 7-zip installed on my computer, so I can't check in computer that doesn't have it. But I'm pretty sure once I installed 7-zip, that's why this showed up. And I could be wrong. Maybe it's there all the time. But if not, that's where I think I got it. CN-ROM still working. Okay, so Moikun dumped. There's the .NES. There's a CRC for that. And the original ROM. CRC for that. E0618F-A3. Sweet. Pinesians still work. Okay, some words about the Pinesian. The plugin is not normally in here. I think I got it from the Boot God database. He actually wrote a bunch of plugins that were not included with the copyNES software, and I put mine under AVE, and then I just said 74161, but then I had Pinesian in the description. Let's see, this was Peekaboo Poker, so let's just call it Peek X. Complete. .NES written. Peek X. CRC. And original Peekaboo. .NES. Okay. And they're different. Uh-oh. Well, maybe I should try to redump it. Well, let's check the in the copyNES folder CRCs. This is the second dump that I did, but this will give us the CRCs for Prog and Char. And we can go check Prog and Char here. Get rid of some of these. Okay, the Prog. Well, okay. Those are both right. Yeah. EF4F 9B96 05FF 1195. Well, that's weird. So why is the .NES wrong? Yeah, they're different. I wonder if it has something to do with the header file. Because the Prog and Char are fine. Huh. well, I want to move on, so let's try the other mappers. Well, I put in the last version of the ReproX PCB and did another dump, and let's see, I think it's this one on the far left. Yeah, it matches the dumps from the newest ReproX, but still doesn't match the original .NES CRC. What's interesting is I had a dump before this one that didn't match these two, and I was really worried, but I just cleaned the PCB and then I got a good dump so it matches these. So that's kind of a good thing, but I don't know. I have to investigate further. Alright, so this is GNROM, still good. And GNROM CRCs on the .NES do not match, and the CRCs on the Prog and Char do match. Okay. Looks like MHROM works. Once again though, the dump doesn't seem to match on the .NES. This is the one that I dumped from the ReproX, and this is the original .NES. Those don't match, but go over here to the Prog and Char CRCs and see, that's the Char 70C, D8B3, and 810 69812. Yeah, those both match up again, so I really need to look into this. I mean, I'm pretty sure since the Prog and Char match, everything's fine, but I want to be sure. And VNROM, still working. And same result, the dump CRC and the original CRC do not match, but the dump for the Prog matches. There is no char, it's a RAM. So, and I did try naming them the same on one of the dumps, and that didn't help. So, it ain't something that simple. Alright, so AMROM still works. And the same results on the dump again. The dump and the original .NESs do not match up on the CRC, but the Prog dumps and original CRCs do match. Alright, so AOROM. Working. And same result, the .NES dump does not match the original .NES CRC, but the Prog CRCs match. Looks like UOROM still works. Yep. And I don't know how, but all of a sudden now the CRCs are matching up again. This is the best of the best dump in original .NES CRCs, and of course the Progs also match up on CRCs. So what happened? I don't know. Looks like UNROM also still good to go. Yep. Must have deleted my Prog of Rodland, but the .NESs match up on the CRCs. So good to go there. And in case you were wondering, yes, the dumb rickrolled ROM still works also. So I'm gonna call it good to fab, which, by the way, doing all this was actually beneficial because I went back through my how-to write-up. You know, I've got steps for which pads to solder for each mapper, and I actually found a mistake. So yeah, this was all actually worthwhile. So I'll keep you up to date. I have, since all this began, I have since procured a bunch of the 62256 RAM chips, some 7432s and some 74161s, and some AT-Tiny13As for making the CIC clone. So when I start selling the board, I will also have the other chips as options for the board as well. Of course, I've got some shells too, if people want to start buying shells. I'm probably not going to sell programmed EPROMs or nothing like that though. Labels only if somebody else makes them. I'm just not really into that. It's a lot of work for not much return. But it looks like the ReproX is finally moving forward, and that's really my fault. I have not touched it in months, mostly for lack of interest on my end, but also because my computer in here was having major problems, and then I replaced it with a computer that was still kind of sucked, and I couldn't get the USB drivers set on it for copyNES and whatnot. So that's all finally good to go. The computer in here is good as my old one that wasn't my main computer. The main computer's been upgraded, so hopefully the computer in here is stout enough to do capture, and maybe even like you get a web camera in here and do interviews with people and FaceTime, all that kind of stuff. We'll see. But ReproX, one step closer.